Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. And I want to say Shalom to Akman Akwat out there, pursuing this truth diligently. Coming at you once again with another lesson. This one's titled, This Society Doesn't Understand Reasoning. All right? And if you want a longer title, it would be This Society Doesn't Understand Reasoning, but they do understand conformity. All right? And we're going to get into those words today, reasoning, conformity. Now, today's lesson, hey, man, a lot of people ain't going to like it, all right? And, you know, we're just talking about it, all right, about how things were biblically, all right? It's not saying to go and do those things. And matter of fact, we don't recommend doing some of those things, as we're going to get in 1 Corinthians 6 and 12. But there's certain things that are being spoke upon unfactually, all right, and being, you know, logical over here. You need to clear those things up and put some thought into the brain, all right, and reason and think about why things are, okay, and dealing with things how they were biblically, all right, and how American society has twisted the way things were. Now, because there's some name calling being had, all right, in these comments. Now, it comes from this article on Reddit. Now it says, why did so many nasty grown men sexualize a teenaged Winona Ryder? And it says, Ryder and Tim Burton went on to describe their first meeting during their Beetlejuice audition, where he said, I had a crush on her at the time. I was 27 and she was 15. It was kind of against the law. All right. Now, Mike Nesmith, now I'm not sure who this guy is, said, is quoted as saying he was madly in love with Winona Ryder when he was 44 and she was 15. What else? This is John Cryer, and there's a bunch of people that say it, all right? And this is, you know, just how it was, you know, back in the day, and, you know, and even not even too long ago, all right? But some point during the 90s to the 2000s, all right, became the most heinous, disgusting, perverted, rapist-like behavior, all right, to have any sort of attraction to a young female, all right, that's past the age of puberty, all right. At some point, all right, it became a terrible thing, right? And of course, it's disgusting for anybody under the line of puberty, all right, because there's a reason for puberty. And we're going to talk about that today, all right, about that, why that is, because both men and women go through it. Well, boys and girls, they go through it to become men and women. And there's a reason you go through those things, okay? And we're going to talk about it today, because this society is not really doesn't function upon reasonability, all right, or logic. They go off of feeling and, you know, conformity. Someone said it's wrong, so I'm going to just say that it's wrong, all right? Without any proof of why it's wrong. They're just going to say it's wrong, okay? The Bible, on the other hand, gives us things that are wrong and gives us the reason why it's wrong, okay? So, let's go ahead and get some articles here. It says there was one specific one that I wanted to see. Let me go and see if I can find it up on my phone, because there was one specific thread, or however you want to call it, that I really wanted to base this lesson around. Let me see if I can find it on my phone. Maybe that one just pops up. So it should be... Here it is. So, this content was removed by Reddit, right? Earlier, I can't remember what it said. You know, I wish I would have taken a screenshot. But, you know, I didn't. All right, something told me to, but I didn't, because I thought it was going to be there. But whatever the top comment was removed. But... and removed it is gone now too. Let's see if I can still do it. All right. That's what I'm trying to read. Oh, that sucks. All right. Well, oh well. I can't remember what it says. It was some, man-hating comment, I'm sure. But the person underneath it says, but remember, not all men. It was basically saying, if I remember correctly, it was basically saying something about men love to sexualize underage women, right? Basically something along those lines. And this person comes back and says, but remember, not all men. Now, it says, let's continue, read more. Men, about a 15-year-old girl. She's so hot, I wanted to bang her when I was in my 40s. Also, men, women are always overreacting. Their life is not worse than men. Feminism is an agenda to enslave men. And you see, this is just this feminism bullshit, all right? And it's funny because this is all going to end real fast, all right, once the end comes, okay? Because we know about, like the scripture, let's go and get it. Isaiah 4:1, it says, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying, we will eat our own bread and wear our own apparel. Only let us be called by thy name to take away our reproach. So a lot of these women are complaining right now. But look at these same memes. Look at these same memes that women make, man. Okay? Let's try and find some. The feminism leaving my body when it's time to shovel the driveway. You want to be superior to men, but when it comes to time to do anything, oh, no, feminism. I'm not a feminist. No, never mind. But the ones that were specifically, see, they've hidden a lot of these. There was a lot of these that were up there. But there was one about World War III. Right here. Feminism leaving my body when World War III begins. We want equality. We want to be just the same as men. All right, you're going to be part of the draft. No, never mind. No, we don't want to be equal to men. We're just poor little girls. And that's how it happens, man. And it's just a bunch of fucking confusion. Okay, as we're going to get into that today as well. But it says, here it is. This is the one I really wanted to touch on. It says, my favorite is when they say we're all old and bitter that they like younger women. No, dude, we were all once younger women and remember how awkward and gross it was to have skeevy old men wanting to have sex with us everywhere we went. All right, yeah, sure. That's why there's so many young women that end up getting with these men, all right? And they didn't do it against them. Well, they were groomed. No, that's not how it works, man. That's not how it works. I remember having friends that were obsessed with teachers, all right? That they thought their teachers were hot. And these were women, young women. I thought their teachers were hot, 40-year-old men. They're like, oh, man, he's hot. And those teachers weren't saying anything to them or poking them or prodding them or grooming them. They thought it themselves, okay? But it is really, going back to what you are, all right? Also, men, those old hags in their 20s and 30s are just jealous when they object to us sexualizing underage girls. It's not the women in their 20s and 30s. It's the one that's in their 40s, 50s, and 60s, right? And the thing is that society has gotten completely out of control with things. Okay, and that's what we're really here to prove today. Because now the thing is, if you're 25 and you're with an 18-year-old, all right, you're an edophile. Okay. Now the new thing is, if the woman's 4'8" or 5 foot and you're 6'2", then you're an edophile because height wise she's like a child to you. The new thing is that if you're 40 and you're with a 22-year-old, you're an edophile. All right, and I'm leaving out the P for a reason because I don't want this to get flagged. All right, that's the new thing. All right, and this is only recent with development within the last 5 years. All right, that I've been hearing these things within the last 2 or 3 years. That now, if apparently if she's 19 and you're 26, that you're an edophile. All right, that now you're a sicko, And this is how these things formed. Okay, these is how these things formed. All right, because once it was okay to get with, 14 and 15-year-old, then it went 16 and 7. Nope, now it's 17 to 18. Nope, now it's 19 to 20. Nope, now it's 20 to 21. Nope, now it's 20 to 22. Nope, now if you're over 40, you can't get with anybody that's not, 2 years younger than you. All right, and that's the societal norms, these societal standards that are being pushed that aren't biblical. They aren't rooted in anything. It's just that society has gotten to that point. I mean, soon it's going to be to the point where a woman that's 30 can't get with a 6-year-old man, or else he's a sicko. All right, I mean, that's where it's going to at this rate. Okay, and the thing is that it's all rooted. Everybody wants to talk about science all the time when it comes to anything, but when it really gets down to talking about science, y'all don't want to talk about it, and that's what we're here to talk about it today. Why does puberty happen? Why does it happen? What is the point of it? Why, all right, biblically, were you allowed to get with someone who was 14 or 15? All right. And the other question is, why, all right, what is puberty and what happens once you go through it, right? And that's what we're talking about today, all right? And a lot of people aren't going to like this. And this is not saying you should go and do that. Absolutely not. You don't go out and get with a woman, or if you're a woman, a man of that age, all right? That's a quick way to go to jail, all right? And we're not saying to go and do those things, but we're just saying there's a reason why puberty happens, and that's what we're here to prove. So, and in feminism, that's going to go out. And it's a lot of these old, bitter women that are single themselves, all right, that wouldn't want to have competition with younger women anyway, all right? Because a 50-year-old woman who's already had, 3 husbands is not going to be chosen over a 17-year-old girl, all right, that, hasn't been with anybody before, all right? They're young, all right? They're not ran through, all right? They're still fertile. They're more likely to have kids that don't come out fucking retarded, all right? Because that's the thing. If you're 40 and you're 50, you can't have kids at that age, all right? The baby will come out retarded if you do, all right? It'll have all sorts of developmental issues, cerebral palsy, come out with some crazy shit, all right? That you don't want that, all right? So mental issues, all sort of preemies, all right? All sorts of things like that, because you're not supposed to be having babies at that age, okay? But now the new thing is that these women in their 20s, don't have kids yet. Wait until you're in your 30s and have kids. Wait until your 40s and so what? And wait until the fucking clock is ticking, all right? And then I won't want to have kids when I'm 40, all right? That means when you want to have kids as young as possible, right? In your 20s, all right? So by the time your kids grow up, you're 30 or 40, and you still have a little bit of your life to live with your wife. Not, I was 40, had my kid, and yep, now I'm 80 and I'm dying. My kid's 17. It's fucking ridiculous. And we know it would be around 60 or 70, but still. So, but yeah, let's go ahead and prove some things. All right. So this society doesn't understand reasoning, but they do understand conformity. All right. Let's go ahead and put that in, but they do understand conformity. Okay, now I want to get some words. Now I want to go and get what the word reasoning means right off the bat. All right, reasoning. Okay, reasoning means what?
Reasoning.
All right, the action of thinking about something in a logical, sensible way. What is logic? All right, what is something? If something's logical, what is that? All right, another word for reasoning is just reason. What is reason? All right, definition. And we want to get the second definition here, right here. It says the power of mind to think, understand, and form judgments by a process of logic. Another word would be scientific thinking. All right, scientific thinking. Logical goes back to what? Characterized by being capable of clear, sound reasoning. All right, reasoned, rational, sound. All right, sound. What does sound mean? Sound means what? It means, this is, we're not looking about the actual sound. We're looking as far as, as audio. But sound, it means right. Okay, it really means right. Sound. Sensible, right here. Reliable, sensible. All right, that you can, sensible, that something that you can rely on and that will probably give good results. All right, and when you go back to this, it's always rooted in scientific thinking. Okay, scientific thinking. In which that's what we're going to be using today a little bit of, right? It's science, okay? Because everybody wants to talk about everything. Oh, you don't want to talk about science. Oh, God is fake. Just use science. Okay, you want to use science? All right, we'll use science. But you only want to use science when it benefits you. That's the thing. You only want to use science when it benefits you. All right, when it starts not benefiting you and starts proving that you're bullshit and your bullshit act is up. Oh, no, not that science. That's old science. Sure, buddy. All right, so going down, we're gonna get this scripture right here, because this is what has happened with the whole of society. All right, society has conformed not to the right things, but to the wrong things. Okay, they've conformed to Christmas. They've conformed to homosexuality. They've conformed to, a man can't get even with a 21-year-old woman if he's 40, because all of a sudden now he's a sexual predator. That's what society has conformed to. Society has conformed to that it's okay for women to be more powerful than men, that they can usurp authority over men. It's conformed to the fact that a man can pretend that he's a woman and get his rod cut off and go about society being called a woman and have almost just as many rights as a woman, and actually be able to overthrow women competitions, all right, that are there because they're weaker, but now they can go in there and win those. Okay, you can't, if you're a weak man and I can't go and win a basketball competition, that's fine. I can change my gender and go and get a competition for women and win that, because I already have the biological benefit of having male characteristics, all right, and more testosterone and all that, and I can win their little event, all right, and I can be declared a woman winner, and the super proud and strong and a hero, really, right? Meanwhile, if anybody talks about against me, then they'd be considered a bigot, evil. All right, this is a society we live in where everything is conformed on the wrong side. They're not conformed to the scriptures, they're conformed to this world. And what does the Bible say about that? This is Romans 12:2. It says, "And be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind, that ye may prove what is that good and acceptable and perfect will of Yahweh." Okay, so we're not to be conformed to this world. This world says homosexuality is okay. It's not. It says eating pork is okay. It's not. All right, it says a man pretending to be a woman is okay. It's not. All right, it says that a woman being more powerful than a man is okay, and it's not. Okay, and they say that if you like 15-year-old girls, you're a sicko, a sexual predator, and an pedophile, and that's not the case. Okay, that's not the case, and it was never that case. It was fine in the 90s. It was fine. It started getting weird in the 90s. That's when people started really getting up in arms about it. But it was fine in the 90s. It was fine in the 80s, and the 70s, and the 60s, and the 40s, and the 30s, and the 20s, and the 10s. All right, and the 1800s, and 1700s, and 1600s, and 1500s, and 1400s, and 1300s, and 1200s, and 1100s, and the 1000s, and the BC, and the AD, and it was all fine up until right around the 90s to the 2000s. All of a sudden, it was a bad thing. Okay, now you got to think. What is more logical? Something that was the new ideology of something, or something that's been rooted? All right, if everybody says that water is good and we need it, all right, and all of a sudden I say water's bad, don't drink it, it's poison. Well, people have been doing it for, hundreds and thousands of years. Thousands and hundreds of years. And we've been drinking water and we've been just fine. So it's not bad. No, I'm saying it's bad. This is new. This is a new development. It's bad. You need to listen to me. It's bad. No, I'm not going to believe you. No, we just found out that it's bad. Well, thousands of years it's been done and it was fine. So why is it just bad now? Think about that. If someone came along that, you'd think this guy's fucking crazy. Okay? But somebody can take anything. Women have been being subjected to men. All of a sudden, hey, this is a bad thing. Well, it was fine for thousands of years. Now all of a sudden it's a bad thing. Well, men are sickos if they're getting with 15-year-old women. They've been doing it for thousands of years. Now all of a sudden it's a bad thing. Why is it all of a sudden a bad thing? And people say it's progression. It's progressionalism. Well, progression is you're progressing to a point. What are you progressing to? All right, you say, let's be progressive. What is progressive? All right, what is progressive? What does that mean? All right, definition. You want to go down to logic and science? Well, cool. We'll use your own things. What is progressive?
Progressive.
All right, happening or developing gradually or in stages, proceeding step by step. Now it says a person advocating, this is the real one, it says a person advocating or implementing social reform or new liberal ideas. All right, so you're going left wing or leftist. What another word is lefty or pinko, or another one to call him is a snowflake. All right, but the thing is, progressive or progressionalism is all about progress. All right, you're progressing to a point. All right, if you're progressing, all right, if you're going up a mountain, how are we doing? We're making progress. That means you're working your way up the mountain, all right? You're working yourself towards something. And what is it that you're working towards yourself? All right, because progressiveness and progressionalism is not working to something for the better good. It's getting away from the things of the old days and things that were rooted in fact. All right. Oh, we don't like this anymore. We don't like that women are on the bottom, so we want to progress past that. We don't like it that men can tell us what to do. We want to progress past that. We're old and we've had 30 dicks, so now we don't want to have a competition with younger women, so we want to move past that. First what we said is you can't get with 15-year-old women. Then we moved it to 17, then 18, and now we have to say a man can't even get with a 20-year-old woman if he's 30, because what are we 30-year-old women gonna do? What are we 40-year-old women gonna do? Right? We need to progress past that. Right? See where all this progress is going? It's progressing past reason. You're progressing, you're developing, you're ongoing, you're continuing past the past the point of reason. That's where you're progressing to. You're progressing deeper into wickedness and evil, all right, and confusion. That's where you're progressing to, all right? Now, you're a sicko if a man gets with an 18-year-old woman and he's 30, but you're okay if you cut your wiener off and walk around down street carrying a dildo as a fucking flag of accomplishment. That's okay. That's progressive. You're a hero. But that man that likes that 18-year-old girl, oh, he's a fucking sicko, man. Fucking disgusting. He should be hung and killed by society. Stone him with rocks. Right? That's see how this is all progressionalism into the furthering the divide of fucking just using your brain. All right? We're moving away, we're progressing past logic and continuing into emotions and feeling. It makes me feel like, all right? It makes me feel upset. It makes me feel mad. It makes me feel like I won't be able to get a man if I'm a 30-year-old woman and they can get with 18-year-olds. So now I have to say that they're edophiles and they're sick for doing that. All right? See how we're going with this? See how this society is just conforming to the greater evil, not the greater good, but the greater evil. Going back into Romans 12, it says, and be not conformed to this world, but be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. That's an instruction for us in this truth. We're not to be conformed in this world. That doesn't mean, men, that you go and get with, a 15-year-old, 16-year-old woman, because we're under the confines of this society right now. There's certain things we can't do, as we're going to get later in 1 Corinthians 6 and 12, all right? It might be lawful, but it's not expedient. It's not smart. It's not something to do. They will still throw you into jail for that. We're not saying to go and do those things. We're saying biblically that's the way things were done, and in the kingdom that's the way that things are going to be done. Are you going to be able to get with a 14-year-old, 13, 15-year-old woman in the kingdom? Absolutely. Were you able to do that in the past? Absolutely. Can you do that now? Absolutely not, unless you want to be thrown in jail, all right, and have your shit turned out, all right? But that's the thing. In the past, it was fine. In the future, it's fine. But right now in this society and the way of conformity, it's wrong. All right. It's a wrong thing to do. Now, what is conformity? All right. This is another definition we want to get, because nobody looks into words anymore. And there's a growing ignorance that is befalling society, that is spreading out like a plague. And the teachers are saying the kids these days are so dumb they can't even do basic addition. All right. I've heard from parents, a parent himself, all right, that his kids didn't even know how to tie their shoes. All right, they couldn't figure anything out, even after being shown. Right, they're just and the brain rot is at an all-time high with the TikToks. All right, people's attention span, you can't hook them. All right, I mean, nobody wants to watch these lessons anymore because if the lesson isn't 1 minute long, people don't even want to go through it. Okay, and I mean there's brothers and sisters that are watching, of course. But even Jake has suffered from it to some points, man. Where an hour lesson, you're like, oh man, an hour. I'd rather watch, 5 or 6, 10-minute lessons than 1 hour lesson. Why? For what? You're going to be able to fit more scripture and more understanding and more explanation in an hour lesson than a 10-minute lesson. 10-minute lessons, those are like little quick hits. And no, those aren't bad by any means. Those are great. All right. 10, 20, 30, 40 minute lessons. And I do, around 20 to 30 to 40 to 50, depending on how the Spirit's working with me. But, hour lessons, nobody wants to watch those. I love hour lessons. When I wake up, the lessons I try to find are generally hour lessons. If you went on my YouTube, the videos that you're going to see that I've watched are quite longer lessons. All right. I don't watch my lessons on this one. I watch it on my other one because I use it on my personal account because I have YouTube Premium, and I didn't get Premium on this because if they ever shut down my channel, I don't want to have issues with that. But if you watched, ones I watched earlier today was actually by Apostle Romalov. So I can go over here, right here, and you can see one of the ones I watched was right here. Was this one of the ones I watched? I'll tell you the ones I I'll tell you. I'll go open my phone right now, and I'll actually go and see the ones that I watched. I was watching... let's see. I watched... various topics. The various topics from 2 days ago. Here it is. All right, 56 minutes and 53 seconds. Okay, and I also watched part of another one. I thought, I guess not, a little bit of Ephesians 2 and 14 by the lesson that Daily Edification for, all right, Apostle Gabar did right here, which is an hour and 11 seconds long. Those are the ones I like to watch because you can let them run and listen and get a lot of information about them, right? But hey, man, brain rot, it's happening. It's happening. So what is conformity? All right, conformity is the act of changing one's beliefs, actions, or behaviors to match those of a group or to gain approval from a group. All right, wearing clothes to match what others are wearing, recycling newspapers because it seems like other people support it, watching what others are doing to figure out where to put your coat, shoes, or mat when you first attend a class at a new yoga studio. Well, these guys are saying it's okay to be gay, so I'm going to say it's okay too. Oh, they're saying it's okay for a man to paint his nails and wear dresses, so I'm going to say that it's okay too. Oh, these people are saying that it's bad for a man to go and get with a 17 and 16-year-old woman, so I'm going to say it's bad too. Oh, they're saying it's bad to like the Bible, so I'm going to say it's bad too. You know, that's conformity, man. You're changing your own beliefs, all right? Something that should be rooted in fact, really your belief should be rooted in the Bible if you're a Jake, all right, so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American. All right, we get our basis and our fact and our belief from the Bible. All right, that's where we what's the word I'm looking for? Tailor our beliefs and our actions and behaviors around. All right, is the Bible, because it is fact. That's not fact. That's conformity to something you don't. Yeah, whatever, man, whatever. No, we know it's fact. You want to know why? Because the actions and things in the Bible in the past can be proven directly to the present. All right, the tribes that were in there can be proved where they went and where they left and where they were and how that adds up to the people that are here today. All right, there's proof that there's places like Mount Sinai that have the top of it, the mountain burned. All right, then there's littered gold around the bottom, little pieces of gold, and they have that area blocked off. You can't even go there. And you know what happened? A calf idol was destroyed, made of gold down there. All right, and everything adds up, man. Everything adds up. All right, right in the areas where Sodom and Gomorrah was, they found a giant pillar of salt. Okay, that adds up, all right, to Lot's wife, okay? So, look, man, it's everything adds up. They have found the ark, all right? All right, archaeologists believe they may have found the final location of Noah's Ark on Turkey's Mount Ararat, all right? So it says, soil samples from atop the highest peak in Turkey reveal human activity and marine materials. Dating of the rock and soil from the location match with the biblical timing of Noah's Ark. No, we can't prove it. We can't necessarily prove it. No, can't necessarily prove it. You don't want to prove it, man. You don't want to prove it. All right, and that's why there's actual laws and regulations in place in Israel where you can't just go public with your archaeological findings. Okay, you find something that's biblical, you can't show that to the public. We don't know where it goes, but there's laws that you can't show it. Why? Because they don't want anything that further proves that the Bible's real, because it would not be good for their narrative. It would not be good for their narrative. Okay, and we're not to be conformed to this world. Everyone's conformed to this world. All right, you say salt, they say salt's bad. And, you know, here, let's go and get this one. This is Isaiah 5:20. It says, woe unto them that call evil good and good evil, that put darkness for light and light for darkness, that put bitter for sweet and sweet for bitter. We're not going to conform to a society that is completely upside down, okay? These people say that two men getting married is good. That's evil, all right? They say men being on the highways and byways preaching about the Lord is bad. That's good, all right? So we're not going to believe in any of these things that these people have to say, all right? They say you shouldn't use herbal healing. They say you should you're much more likely to be healed using modern medicine, all right? A little pill with chemicals in it, all right? Even though that if it cures your heartburn, but it causes your asshole to fall out, all right? Take this little pill. What are you suffering from? Headaches? Oh, grab this one. It'll make your cock blow off and float around the room, all right? Minor side effect, but no problem, because to stop that, we have another pill. Now, this one will cause anal bleeding, But that's fine, because in order to stop the anal bleeding, we have another pill. Now, this one will stop that anal bleeding, but it is going to cause you to swell up like a balloon. So in order to stop that, we're also going to have to put you on this pill, which will stop you from swelling up like a balloon, but you will go blind in one eye. So we do also have to put you on these eye drops, and when you use these eye drops, it will cause, severe nasal congestion. But, that will stop, your eye problems. All right, oh, your nose problems? Well, we'll get you on another pill. Shut up, man. We're not going to use anything that's like that. That's ridiculous. That's not medicine. All right, even the Bible says these Edomites are incapable of even being good doctors. All right. This is Job 13:4. It says, but you're all forgers of lies. You're all physicians of no value. All right, physician of no value. They're useless. They're vain. Their physician, their works of physicianry, all right, is in vanity. All right, it's useless. It's futile. It's pointless. They can't heal you at all. All right, they're not good doctors. Okay, so let's go on and continue on. All right, we've already got that. Now, going back in, and proving, that it's not something that you should be doing now in this society. 1 Corinthians 6:12 says, all things are lawful unto me, but not, but all things are not expedient. All things are lawful for me, but I will not be brought under the power of any. So just because something is lawful doesn't mean you should necessarily be doing it. All right, it's not something that you should be doing. What does expedient mean? We can go and look up that word. Expedient. All right, means convenient, advantageous, or practical. All right, so it's one of those things that even though it's proper, all right, or they say it's not proper, just because it's something that's lawful doesn't mean that it's something that's going to be cause good things to happen. All right, matter of fact, sometimes it can be the opposite. For example, moles, all right, biblically were put to death. All right, and adulterers were put to death. Does that mean you come home, you see your wife cheating, you can shoot her in the fucking face? No, you're gonna go to prison for the rest of your life. Does that mean if you see someone doing some crazy mo shit that you can put them to death? No, you're gonna go to prison for the rest of your life for that type of shit, man. All right, not that shit, but those type of things. And so just because something's lawful doesn't mean that it's expedient. Doesn't mean it's something that you should necessarily do. Okay. And that doesn't refer. So I can't eat. I can eat pork then, right? No, that's not what we're talking about. All right, you cannot eat pork and not go to jail. Okay, you can do that. Okay, but in a society where certain things should be happening, an adulterer would be put to death, an adulterer or adulteress would be put to death. You can't put them to death in a society that would have them have you go to prison for the rest of life, and then have the people that were involved in it be let off scot-free, right? So that's why. That we have the scriptures, vengeance is mine, saith the Lord. We have to wait for the Lord to do things because we can't do it in the society. Okay, it's not for us to do. All right, and the Lord will actually actively put out vengeance on people. He that shall find vengeance. Okay, right here it says Ecclesiasticus 28:1. He that revengeth shall find vengeance from the Lord, and he will surely keep his sins in remembrance. So we have to wait on the Lord. All right, vengeance is mine. This is Romans 12:19. It says, dearly beloved, avenge not yourselves, but rather give place unto wrath, for it is written, vengeance is mine, I will repay, saith the Lord. So we got to wait on the Lord to do it. Okay? So just because something's lawful doesn't mean we should be doing it. Now, I wanted to go and look something up. All right, we're going to use ChatGPT for this, all right, because we'll be able to ask it questions unlike a regular Google. So it says, what was the age of marriage biblically in for Jews? Okay. It says, in biblical times, Jew customs, not Jewish, all right, retaining or pertaining unto a Jew. We're not Jewish, we are Jews, all right? It says, in biblical times, Jew customs around marriage were pretty different from what we're used to today, especially regarding age. Generally, marriage happened young, often in the mid-teens. For girls, the typical age of marriage was around 12 to 14, close to the onset of puberty, which was seen as the start of womanhood, and that's absolutely true. It says this lined up with Jewish law, which considered a girl an adult and responsible for commandments at around 12, the age of bar mitzvah today. Now, some of those Jewish things, don't listen to the Jewish laws or anything like that. It says, because the church has that stuff. It's open to age 12. All your sins go on your mom, right? I've heard, not that I was in church, but I've heard, brothers talk about that, It says, for boys, marriage typically happened a little later, usually around 16 to 18. Men were expected to be a bit older, partially because they were encouraged to be a bit more mature, have some skills, and ideally start earning before getting married. And this is not necessarily true either. The marriageable time from both boys and girls, all right, were around, men and women, because they're not boys or girls at this time when they come to this age. 12 or 13 is when the puberty hits, and when puberty would hit, that's when, biblically, you would be able to marry, all right? Now, it's usually a little bit older for men, because generally, men hit puberty a little bit later than women do. Women hit it a little bit younger, all right? That's why it was a little bit older from boys, okay? If girls are hitting it at 11 and 13, or 11 and 12, all right, boys usually hit puberty around, 12, 12 and a half, 13, all right? Around those ages, all right? Women usually hit puberty earlier than men, all right? That's known. All right, because at that younger age, women develop faster than men. It says, back then the focus was on building families and communities, not so much on personal choice or long courtships. Family arrangements or community considerations had a big role, with families often negotiating and agreeing on matches, and that's true as well. So that's the thing, and that's the whole point of puberty. Now, what is puberty? All right, what is puberty? Okay, I'm curious of what that is. It says, It says puberty is the process of physical and hormonal changes that mark the transition from childhood to adulthood. It is when a person becomes sexually mature and capable of reproduction. Now, the question you need to ask yourself, all right, is if you look at any other animal, all right, you look at a cat or a kitten, when they become from a kitten to a cat, all right, they become sexually active. All right, they were able to reproduce. And what do they do around those times? They start reproducing. When a puppy, all right, becomes a dog, all right, and they still reproduce technically when they're still considered puppies, all right, when they are able to have that hormonal change, all right, and able to produce, all right, whatever it be, whether it be eggs or semen, all right, they start producing, all right, whether it's a cat, whether it's a puppy, whether it's a dog, whether it's a cow, whether it's a horse, all right, any other animal, toads, lizards, right, snakes, all right, whatever they are, birds, all right, when they're able to have, when those hormonal changes happen, all right, and they transition from, infancy, all right, into adulthood, all right, maturity, all right, they start producing, all right, they start having sexual relations. Okay, not that animals really have quote unquote relations, but they start having sex. All right, they start producing. All right, the females start producing eggs, the mammals, of course, and then the men start producing semen. Okay, and then quote unquote, boom, they get the business done. The rod goes inside the box. Boom, bam, busts off. You can fertilize an egg. Baby comes later. Right, that's how it happens. All right, that's the whole act of puberty. Okay, now it says puberty is triggered by hormonal changes in the body, which are initiated by the hypothalamus, a gland in the brain. The hypothalamus secretes gonadotropin, releasing hormone GnRH, which stimulates the pituitary gland and releasing luteinizing a hormone and follicle-stimulating hormone. These hormones signal the sex organs to release sex hormones like estrogen and testosterone, which cause the physical changes of puberty. Also, you're gonna have the physical changes. All right, testosterone, you're gonna start being stronger, and your voice is gonna go really deep, right? And with women, you're gonna start growing breasts. You're gonna start, your period, right? So on and so forth. It says puberty typically begins the ages of 8 and 13 for females, and 9 and 14 for males. See, women start younger, men start older. Now, women, all right. It was biblically, women were not getting their puberty at 8 and 7 years old, 7 and 8 and 9 years old. No, it happened around 12 to 13, okay? That's when it happened, all right, 12 to 13, and it wasn't happening at 9 years old for boys either. Again, 12, 13, 14, all right, for males. But the thing is, you have all these, human growth hormones and, all these growth hormones that are be putting in the milk and the food and stuff. It's fucking things up. There's girls that are having puberty at like 4 now, all right? And that's not natural at all, okay? So, no, biblically, you wouldn't even be able to get with them either. All right, you're not supposed to be undergoing that process at 8, all right, or at 9. All right, that's because of what they put in the food. It would naturally happen around 12 to 13. Now, what are some of the things that happen, some physical changes that happen during puberty? It says breast development. All right, this is the first sign of puberty in females. All right, pubic hair, right? Menstruation, it says voice changes. The larynx grows, causing the voice to deepen. Also, testosterone helps with that. That's why when women, all right, go and get those sex change operations, they usually start taking testosterone and they get a deeper voice. Growth spurts, all right, you start to grow. All right, acne, pimple, body odor, body hair, growing pains, right? So on and so forth. So that's when, it says it's initiated by the hormone cycles from the brain to the gonads, the ovaries in the female, and the testicles in the male. All right, so women start producing eggs and men start producing semen, all right? And they can bust off, all right, and end up having kids that way. All right, so why would that happen? All right, it's there's nature, Mother Nature. I love Mother Nature, and I'm a Sagittarius under the sign of the moon, and I love nature and smoking weed. Oh, not that nature though. Not that nature. No, that's you edophile, you sexual predator. What the fuck are you talking about, man? You're either with nature or you're not with nature. You're either with science or you're not with science. Are you with logic or are you against logic? Which one is it? Make up your fucking mind, because you're jumping through loops here. Well, no, it's natural. Oh, we were born under this sign. No, that's not true though. We should go over here because we shouldn't do that because these girls, they're too young. We can't do that. Oh, but no. And see, in nature though, there's certain homosexual animals like penguins. But you can't do that though because that's again. No, that's not. So that is part of nature, but it's not nature because that's wrong nature. But the gay penguins are right nature. What the fuck are you talking about, man? You can't just say yes to one thing and no to one thing. You're either with it. Are you down with all this nature shit or all the science shit? Or are you against this nature and science shit? Which one is it? Because you can't say that penguins can be gay and that's true science and we hate science. But when we say that science is that when puberty hits, that's when you should naturally be having sex and producing children because the time is fucking ticking on you women with the eggs because you stop producing so many eggs as you get older. But you can't go and say, oh, it's okay for penguins to be gay. That's right, and that's not wrong in nature, but it is wrong for nature to have, women be like that in puberty, because even though we bleed and we're allowed to have babies, that doesn't mean we should be having babies. Well, why would you bleed and be able to get fucking pregnant if you're not meant to get fucking pregnant? As a man, why would you start busting off and having semen if you weren't meant to fucking produce it? Think about it. Use your mind. Think about it scientifically. Because you're using half things scientifically. Oh, well, scientifically, sex and gender is separate. Oh, no, but we don't like it when, no, they're too young. You said sex and gender is separate. You're saying that's science, but you like that science, but you don't like this science. That's fucking double-minded as fuck, man. Make up your goddamn mind. You can't say you like one part, but you don't like it. What about the Bible? Yeah, that same thing with those people in the Bible. Well, I like the Old Testament, but I don't like the New Testament. I like the New Testament, but I don't like the Old Testament. It's fucking confusion, man. And the Lord's not the author of it. Let's go and get it. 1 Corinthians 14 and 33. It says, for Yahweh is not the author of confusion, but of peace, as in the churches of the saints. The Lord's not going to have someone go through puberty just to not be able to have them. It's not right to have sex at that age, but you're at the sex having age. All right. And anybody that knows, all right, we were all gone through puberty at one point in time. We were all fucking, hot and heavy all the goddamn time. The women are, fucking, trying to do all sorts of crazy shit in high school. The men, all the men, every single man will remember, man, from the age of like middle school, end of elementary school to middle school, it was just the pursuit of pussy. That's all it was. All right, everybody trying to see who could get laid faster. Everybody remembers that. All right, and the women were doing the same fucking thing. They just weren't so out about it. All right, which is wrong too, because again, that whole society is confusing. Really, how it should have been is the women should have been looking for mates, not just hoeing around, and the man should have found his mate, got with one or two or three, however many he got with, and taking care of them while he works. They take care of the house. That's how it would go biblically. Okay, and the Lord's not the author of confusion. He's not going to have you go through puberty and start producing eggs, all right, so you can have a baby when you're not supposed to be having a baby. That doesn't make any sense. All right, now, certain those things can change with society, as in the human growth hormone. Everything's all fucked up now. Now they're causing people to, grow extra limbs and everything, mutations and having puberty younger. Now that can happen, but that doesn't mean that's a natural thing that's supposed to be happening along those lines. That's directly a result of things and chemicals being put in the water. Now, you could artificially induce puberty, I'm sure, at someone at fucking 2 years old if you try to do some scientific evilery, all right? You could probably do that, okay? But that's not the natural state of things. Natural state was, 12 to 14, okay? And that's how it was. So around 12 to 14, that's how it would happen. Men would be doing that. Women would be doing that. Boom, boom, bam. Lord's not the author of confusion, all right? But you're over here. You don't understand reasoning. You don't understand why that is the case, that people, why is it that men are attracted to 16 and 17-year-old women. And the thing is that you women don't know is a lot of these men are just lying. All right. If a man ever says that, you see this, if you ever hear a man say, oh, I don't find a 16-year-old, 17 attractive, they're lying. It's a lie. All right. And you want to know how I know this? You're saying, oh, well, that's just you projecting. You think they're attractive. No. I'll admit, yeah, 17-year-old, some 17-year-old girls, yeah, they're pretty. I'm not gonna. You'd have to fucking be stupid to say that they're not. All right. So I've talked to several men. All right. Outside of this truth. All right. Outside of this truth. Okay. In the world. All right. On the DL. All right. People that I'm cool that I can talk about it. And I ask, hey, is there really a point where men stop being attracted to, 15, 16, 17-year-olds? Or is that just something you repress and you act like it doesn't happen? And they say that's just something you repress and you don't think about it, right? That's why. Because so you women that think that doesn't happen, it's all men. See, all men are garbage. All men are garbage. Yeah, whatever you say, that's fine. Because you're the same ones that see these 17-year-old little fucking broccoli-headed motherfuckers, blonde hair, blue-eyed, and you say, oh my gosh, they're hot. How old are they? 17? Oh, I could teach him some things. You're the same people that'll say some things like that. You're the same fucking people that'll say those things, man. And you're confused in the head. You don't understand what's going on. And, the Lord's not the author of confusion. And you're confused. All right, this whole society is upside down. Matter of fact, Babylon, the word Babel, all right, means what? Babel, okay? No, not Babylon, but just Babel, okay? It means what? It says the name of an ancient city in a word that means confusion. It really means a confused noise. All right, Babel. A confusion of sounds or voices. A confused noise. A confusion. All right. And another word would be a madhouse. That's what this place is a fucking madhouse, man. All right. You want to reach to history until it doesn't benefit you. Then you want to go forward. And when there's things in the future that don't benefit you, you want to go back. It's not a pick and choose, man. It's not a pick and choose. Proverbs 14 and 15. The simple believeth every word, but the prudent man looketh well to his going. All right. And that's why, we have to be wise as serpents, harmless as doves. All right. Let's get Matthew 10 and 16. It says, behold, I send you forth as sheep in the midst of wolves. Be therefore wise as serpents and harmless as doves. This is red letter Yahushua speaking. All right, because you have to be smart, man. You have to be prudent. All right, you can't just believe every word. You have to weigh it through the Bible. Okay, because this society, it works off of conformity. They'll tell you, oh, it's okay for two gay guys to be together. And if you just believed every word, you'd say, okay, yeah, that's fine. That's not fine. That's wicked. That's an extremely wicked thing. And everybody wants to have everything rooted in science until science doesn't benefit them. Then they want to go into modernity. And then when modernity doesn't benefit them, they want to go back into science. Oh, there's something in science we don't like. Back to modernity. Oh, no, we don't like that. Back to science. Oh, shit. And that's what they do. They just keep on bouncing back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it's confused. Stick with the program, man. Either you back science or you don't back science. All right? You either back modernity or you don't back modernity. You can't go back and say, oh, no, there's some of these things. Are you with it or are you against it? Which one is it, man? Which one is it? Are you with society or against society? Are you with modernity or are you against modernity? Are you with science or are you against science? Are you with the Bible or are you against the Bible? Okay? You need to know. Even the Bible says, he who is not with me is against me. Okay? If you're not with something, you're against it. Okay? If you're not with modernity, then you're against modernity. We're not with modernity, so we're against it. All right? If you're not with science, then you're against science. Okay? So which one is it? Which one is it? So, geez, man. A lot of dumb people. A lot of just really dumb people, and you just don't get it. Okay? You don't get it. Just because, you're a baby and you start walking, yeah, you can walk, doesn't mean you should start walking, though. Fucking dumb. That's basically what you're saying. It's dumb. John 3 and 12. No, you should wait until you're 40 and 50 until all your eggs are used up, and then you won't be able to have kids, because that's, but if you're a 40-year-old woman and some guy got with you that's 80, oh man, he's a pedophile. Oh, a sicko. Fucking stupid. This is John 3 and 12. It says, if I have told you earthly things and you believe not, how shall you believe if I tell you heavenly things? All right, now I wanted to get this, because you don't believe us in any capacity. You don't believe us when we tell you heavenly things. All right, you don't believe us when we tell you earthly things. You don't believe us when we tell you something's going to happen. All right. And it's all prophetic to the Bible. All right. If you don't believe what we're saying, that's really because, and I'm not talking about just the words we speak. All right. But as far as the scriptures go, if you don't believe these, it's because it's not that you don't believe us. It's that you don't believe the Lord. Okay. And this society doesn't understand reasoning. They only understand conformity. Okay. If somehow it was a TikTok trend and I said that, you should stop drinking milk because it's actually some weird experience for a cow, yada, yada, yada. There'd be a lot of people that would stop drinking milk because of it, because now, it's all a big thing on TikTok and they have to conform. All right. For example, a big thing that shows you conformity is all these influencers. All right. They told everybody to go out and get Stanley Cups, and now everybody has Stanley Cups. Right. That's conformity. That's being a sheep. All right. That's following along with what all the masses are doing and not understanding reasoning and logic. And not doing things, backed in religion and factual matters. All right, you're just being conformed, okay? And you say we're being conformed because you're just going along with the masses about being able to believe in the Bible. First of all, we don't believe what the Christians believe. All right, what we believe is definitely not what the masses believe. Okay, we believe that white people are going into captivity and into slavery. Okay, so that's not what everybody believes. That's not conformity. All right, we're conformed to the religion of the Bible. All right, being Jews. All right, being Israelites. But that's it, okay? We're not going to conform to societal standards, all right? Historical standards, all right? Unless the historical standards are rooted within the Bible, of course, which we are conformed to, all right? Because it is our religion. Not only is it our religion, it's our heritage, it's our lineage, all right? That's who we are as a people. That's our book of our history. That's our history book. That tells us who we were in the past, okay? But this society doesn't understand that because they don't understand anything. And if you can't understand anything, that means you don't understand nothing. This society doesn't understand reasoning, but they do understand conformity. That's been the lesson. All right, if you have any questions, just, type them down below. Don't go on and say, oh, you're just a pedophile, because I don't do that. I don't do that. My wife's 25, I think 25, 24, 25, 20, 26. No, she's going to be 26, 25. Okay, so it's just one of those things, man, where it's, and so I'm not gonna do that, not in this society, not now, hell nah. And if you really want the fact of the matter, I wouldn't want to date a woman that was any younger than about 20, 23, 24, just for the simple matter that, these young women these days are really fucking dumb. All right, these are not just women. All right, these men too are dumb as shit. All right, you got these women walking around looking like a thrift store. These men with their broccoli haircuts. It's fucking stupid. It's ridiculous. And the other thing is, I wouldn't want to date anybody that doesn't know what a fucking cassette is. Okay, so, or a VHS or something, or remember what DVRs are. I wouldn't want that. All right, it's just you're gonna have too much of a gap within lifetime experiences. Okay, doesn't mean you're wrong. You can get with them, but I'm not gonna get with them. All right, I wouldn't even get with a 19-year-old. All right, for the simple matter of, what are we gonna have to talk about? What are we gonna have in common? Nothing. All right, so that's been the lesson. I'm gonna go ahead and close out there. Lord willing, the lesson was edifying. Once again, I want to give all praise, honor, and glory to the Most High, Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahweh Shai, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Shalom to you brothers and sisters out there. Keep enduring, keep the faith. Again, it's not telling you brothers out there to go and do those things. Don't do them. Don't come crying to us. You end up like fucking, what was his name? I don't know. You end up like Diddy. Don't come crying to us. All right? Till next one, Lord willing, shalom.